Yeah, doing the countdown.
8, 7, 6, 5,
Uh,
4, 3, 2, 1, 0. You didn't do it with me, Corey?
Cuatro, tres, dos, uno, cero. Yeah. See, I got you. I got you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yo, 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 yo. So you know what time it is. Welcome back to Technically Speaking News, where we are giving you news.
That you can
You
use.
Hey,
can.
That's
and
right.
I know you see some more familiar faces. You see Dr. Poole, and you know you're missing one of our main mans, Gmo, aka Tech underscore Von underscore Go, because he is underscore not here. But it's all
He's,
right.
he's taking care
Listen,
of
bro.
business.
Fly safe,
Oh yeah,
man. Have a safe
some
flight.
business.
Mhm.
Right on. Speaking of business, speaking of how y'all been, how you guys been? You know what I'm saying, Bobby? How was work this?
I'll say our guest first. Dr. Poole, how have you been? How's your weekend?
How you been? You been pooling, cooling?
I
I've
saw
been
you
cool,
today. I saw,
man.
saw a video you posted today.
Yeah, I was doing pretty good. It was a fun weekend. Went and hung out with some friends, did some barbecuing up there in San Pedro, eating on some oysters and some parrotfish
Mm,
and a bunch of stuff I never had before. It's pretty cool.
sounds
Nice.
Hawaiian
bougie.
style. They went all out.
That's cool.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was fun. Nice day. Kind of cloudy, a little cloudy, but besides
Cloudy
that, it
with
was cool.
cloudy with a chance of meatballs.
Yeah. Now with some extra steak. Yeah, and some poke. Yeah,
Poke. Oh, you know what? Pokey is really good, and I heard it's high in protein because it's raw.
it's good. It's good. I liked it.
You don't wait a minute. Hold on, Bobby making a stank face.
Oh, uh-oh.
Bobby,
The
you don't
wrong
like
fish, huh?
You're going to hit me up on nothing raw. I don't
what?
like none of that.
You don't eat sushi,
Sir, I am
man.
Texan.
Okay,
Sir,
She
my
needs
bad.
the California rolls.
Yeah, right.
I've had California rolls. It's like if it's like cooked shrimp,
Mhm. Right.
I'll eat that. I'll eat the California roll, little wasabi sauce and stuff that they give you with it. Like I'll try that, but
What
you
about
ain't
the
gonna
shrimp
get
rolls? Shrimp rolls are
I don't,
pretty easy.
only if it's cooked.
Mm.
Only if it's cooked.
So pretty much, you don't like sushi. You just like fish,
Mm.
fried,
I
baked,
don't eat it
grilled.
often. I don't eat it often. I like blackened fish. I don't eat it often though.
Right on, right on.
Nope,
Uh,
nope.
well, this weekend for me, and this week actually for me, pretty smooth. Just handling day by day. And I bought a new hat. I
I
like
know
this
it
hat.
looks good on you. It
Yeah,
almost looks
Hey,
like it's got like a leather look to
it's
it.
all
I
leather.
like it.
And I got
It's
this thing
shiny.
that says it says right there. If you reading this, that means you're too
You're
close.
too close.
that's
Yeah. Oh, and on the
cool.
back, and I got it says my social media monitor.
Oh,
Like
cool.
how much?
That's
Yeah.
cool, man. That would sell. That's sell.
Hey, bro. Honestly, I just put two and two together. I bought these pins that I saw on Amazon, and I got this hat. I was like, yes,
Hmm,
a leather
good.
hat, a leather. Because I had leather hats in the past, and I've lost them or the leather ripped off, and
Mm,
they cost me like 60, $70. This one,
yeah.
not so much. I got it for $15. Thank you, Amazon.
Mm.
Mm,
Amazon.
But
Yeah.
yeah, other than that, I've been chill like a pill and cooler than a snowflake.
and
But I
we
don't know
So,
what snowflake feel like. So
we celebrated a friend's birthday this weekend, and I always get asked to cook because I cook certain things, and I get
yeah.
asked to cook. And I told my friend, I said, "Hey, how many people expecting? Oh, about 50." I was like, "What?" I'm not expecting that many people. I wasn't expecting her
Oh,
to say that. So I made
mm,
two big trays of my homemade uh, 5 cheese mac and cheese. I made
nice.
some potato salad, and then I made a special batch of the Hatch green chili chicken enchiladas for my friend. That was his birthday gift from me.
That's
I did all
amazing.
the cooking, and then I forgot one ingredient for those enchiladas. I had to
Uh-oh.
run up to Dollar General.
Uh-huh.
Not a big deal. I parked and I saw the beer guy taking his beer inside, spilled Michelob Ultra all over the Dollar General parking lot.
oh,
No.
And I got out and I parked. I was like, "Oh no, poor guy. He's probably having a bad day." And I went up to him. I said, "Hey, brother, you okay?" And I started picking up all these beers
Yeah.
that were all over Dollar General parking lot. I started picking them up,
hey,
put them in the basket. He's like, "Oh no, you don't have to do that." I said, "No, it's okay, man. We all having a bad day. I hope you have a better one, though. Let's get this picked up. You and me together. We'll work to get this parking lot taken care of, right?"
Man,
And
that's what I'm
then
talking about.
and he tells me, "Thank you so much. You didn't have to do it." I said, "No, it's okay, man. Don't worry about it." And I go inside the store. I grab my one thing I needed. I was already walking out, and I could see him kind of loitering around the front door. And I was like, "Oh, this guy's gonna ask me something. Please don't ask me for my number. Please don't ask me for my number."
Uh-oh. He saw it
But you
now.
know,
He was like, "Oh, she gonna be helping. She's
because
helping me.
you know,
She may be my help meet."
That's the cost of helping
like
people.
I know, right? Like, and like, I hope he doesn't think I'm like, "Oh my god, he is so cute," because he wasn't. But I was just helping the poor guy. Like, man, we all need some love and some compassion. It don't matter what you look like. I want to be able to help, bring some joy into your life or something, but not like that.
Yeah.
Right.
He was looking for
So
joy,
he was like,
joy.
so he was like, "Oh, hey, what's your name?" And I'm like, Bobby. I didn't want to tell him my name because I was like, it don't
Oh,
matter because I just helped
right.
you. It don't matter
You
what my
don't
name is.
matter.
I
Yeah.
told him, and he was like, "Oh, hi, my name is Adam." I said, "Well, hey, Adam, I hope that you have a blessed rest of your day, my friend.
Yeah.
Stay cool. It's hot out here."
You got to
So
make sure
he's
you
like,
stay blessed because sometimes they may think like,
"Look, that's trying to use some Christian terminology in my so that he knows if he was going to try to say, by the way, sir, I am married with 6 kids. You don't want none of this."
nah,
Anyways,
nah.
don't laugh. So here's the story. I knew he was going to ask me. I had a feeling. He's like, "Hey, do you drink?" Man, I don't. I'm not a beer fan. So I was like, "No, I don't drink. That's okay." I said, "But if you got a case of Big Red in there somewhere, I'll take some Big Red."
Big
And
Red.
he was like, "Y'all do Big Red?"
Never heard
Nah.
of it.
Big Red is red pop, bruh. It's red soda. It is like it goes. I've had it when I
Sir,
was in the South.
it is a staple down here.
Yes, it
Really?
is.
It is. Yes, it's a staple down here. I said, "You got any Big Red? I'll take
It's
that."
not like red Kool-Aid.
But no, this is
It's
different. A whole other flavor.
soda.
It's not
And
that red
so,
40, is it? Gotta
no,
watch
it ain't no
for
Red
that red
40.
40.
It probably has Red 40. And don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. No, don't ruin it for me.
Sorry.
But I knew he didn't have no Big Red or whatever, and so he's like, "You know what?" He goes, "Come bring your car back around right here by my truck." It was parked in the front. It's not like it was in some shady spot. He's like, "Bring your car over here." I said, "Okay." Bring my car over there. And he was like, "Let me see what non-alcoholic stuff I got." I said, "I'll take anything non-alcoholic you got." Sure enough, he blessed me with the whole 24 pack case of Alani's. Y'all drink Alani? Do you know what that is?
Never heard of it.
It's a zero sugar energy drink. They're real popular here.
Oh
It's a
yeah,
zero
nah.
sugar energy drink,
Drinks.
but it's like $3.50 per each
Wow.
Alani. So they gave me like $75 worth of merch just
Listen,
Wow.
just for helping pick up. I didn't ask for nothing. I didn't want anything. I was just trying to help a guy because I saw a need. I filled the need. You know what I mean? And so,
Zalou
yeah.
said
Ah,
that he said it's when they stop asking for your name, that's when it's a letdown.
what? No.
But there's still
Honestly,
that
I'm
indifference out there, like, oh yeah, thanks for your
no.
help, you know.
But you know what? Even one day when I get to be millionaire status, that part of
Mhm.
me is never gonna change. I'm always
Just
out
don't
here
let
to help
people know
my
you're a millionaire.
man. I'm gonna walk around looking like I'm broke all the time, so nobody can ask me for
Look,
anything.
hey, I'm a carry myself how I carry myself now. No difference. The only thing I may have different, if I was a millionaire, well, when I become millionaire status, only thing I will have different is probably a car. Because I really want
I woke up
a
in a
Maybach.
new Bugatti, right?
Nah, that's the thing. I want a Maybach Benz with a driver, with a higher. And that's the thing. I won't be driving. I won't drive everywhere in it, but it'll be my weekend car. It'll be my
Mhm.
car and go for the weekend. Yeah,
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying. Monday through Friday, I'll be working, driving my regular Ford. But
You drive a Ford?
Ford Explorer 2016, paid in full.
2016 Hyundai Santa Fe. But we have a
Oh,
2019
Wow.
Chevy Silverado, bought
yep.
and paid for, blue title, owned
Hey,
owned by yours
I'm talking
truly.
about. I got a Ford Expedition to be paid off in February. I bought it right before the pandemic, and as soon as I bought it, the pandemic hit, and I was
Woo.
like, really, this is really gonna happen? But it kept me from driving a lot, so I got less than 70,000 miles on it. So and I had it for going on 6 years.
We were raking in money. I felt like during COVID because we didn't have to drive anywhere.
Right.
Both my husband and I, because he and I were both contractors for the Department of Defense, so they were like, everybody work from home.
Yeah.
Say less. Say less.
That's less stress. But you want to know who can't work from home?
Oh, tell us who can't work from home.
Well, he can't work from nowhere because he got the boot. The Foo Fighter drummer part ways with the Foo Fighter. Now, here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? I truly believe everybody experiences life the same, but then different templates, right? And when I say templates, meaning that, you know, everybody has a job unless you're an owner. And then every owner deals with the same thing, just different vertical or a different industry. So this man was a drummer for 2 years with the Foo Fighters, and they had to part ways. So parting ways, it to me it feels like a rejection, right? I've been fired from jobs and when before I was younger. I rarely walked away from a job, but when I did walk away, I knew it wasn't for me. Like I had one of them jobs where I had a job and then I walked away from a job because I was like, I ain't doing that. I'd rather do this.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I had a job I think I was working through the Urban League and I really wanted something more solid, but I had a job working with Sprint where I worked like 4 hours a day, Monday through Thursday. And then I had relied on commission. I was like, okay, I can do that, but I wanted something really solid. So I'm going out passing out flyers and stuff. And this guy he said, hey, he worked at a car dealership over there in Cerritos Long Beach Circle. That's where a lot of cars, Bobby, where a lot of car dealerships are. Right?
I don't know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's how I had to give backstory. So I go, right? And I go, and he was like, you'll do good here. All you got to do is engage the customers. I was like, okay, how much do I get paid by the hour? He's like, oh, it's no hourly. I was like, what?
Commission?
It's a commission only. This was, I would say 1999. No, 2000. And it was like August 2000. I was like, okay, I'm sitting there on this parking lot for like 3 hours. Nobody coming on this parking lot. And so the guy was like, okay, how you like it? I'm like, well, nobody's coming. And this is literally, I think this is my first paid quote unquote commission job because he was like, well, you can take a break and then you can come back. And I realized I was like, I didn't fill out no paperwork, right? So he was like, you fill out paperwork afterwards.
What?
Man, yeah. I got it in my car. I went back to the Urban League. I said, can you find me something else? I was like, I just walked away. I had to. You know what I'm saying? And I think the problem is, like I said, everybody deals with everything differently. So, and like the Foo Fighter parted ways with the drummer. That's just pretty much saying you got fired, right? You got fired. And it's okay. But the thing about it is, the bigger the job and the bigger the opportunity, the bigger the light is on you when you fail.
Yeah, that's true.
Have any of you guys ever been fired or had to walk away from a job where you was like, it was like, I'm this, it's it for me. It's a wrap, 2 gingerbread snaps.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell us about that.
Sure. The most recent one, actually, I was probably the last job I had that led me into starting my own company. I was working as a janitor for a church for like 4.5 years, kind of doing all the grunt work. And I don't know, I kind of like felt like I wasn't getting like promotional opportunities, you know, to do more stuff. And I don't know, I just kind of, I reached a boiling point and just kind of broke down, just like, yeah, I can't take this anymore. I had already kind of given it some thought, like, what am I going to do with my life, my future? What is my goals? I don't want to be a janitor my whole life.
Right.
And I broke it down. It was like, all right, I love music, but I felt like I was too old to do music. I love cooking, but I felt like if I cooked for a living, I would lose the joy of cooking. I have great sales experience. I could always get into sales, but I hate pounding the pavement, and I'm getting older now. And then I was like, I could get a labor job, like in a warehouse or do construction. And I was like, I'm going labor, find me a labor job, have like a low overhead, be able to say what I want, wear what I want. But yeah, the door opened for me to join the pool cleaning company right around the same time. So that kind of led me to throwing the keys, and saying I'm done also, because I knew I had something, in my back pocket. But yeah, that was the last time where I had to just like say the last job where I was like, you know what, I'm not progressing the way I want to here. And I just felt trapped, and I needed to, expand. And I did it, I did it.
Nice.
And it paid out. It paid out in the end.
Look at you. Now you're a business owner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm at the best place I've ever been at in my life. Career-wise, financially, everything.
That's amazing, man. And it's good that you can say that in your latter years. What about you, Bobby?
Let's see. I've been in jobs where the title doesn't match the work that I do. And so I'm over here like, oh, look at this type of analyst job. Yeah, hook me up. And then I get there and I'm like, bro, what is this? What is this? All right, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. I've lied before to get out of jobs. I don't like that, but I don't like being lied to either. I feel like I'm being lied to. When I was kind of pounding the pavement when I used to work for a life insurance company, they wanted me there like 14, 15 hours a day, and I wasn't getting paid for that. You were only getting paid if you got a sale. And the way that we would get into people's home was by offering them child safety kits. Now, they honest to God got the child safety kits, but it brought us into their home where we could give them a pitch.
The pitch, right.
Right. And so we would spend 15 hours a day practicing this pitch and stuff, but I'm over here thinking to myself, like, this is not paying the bills. And I feel like y'all lied to me, trying to show me this grand idea of what my life could be. But before I can get all that, I have to like literally struggle the whole time and not make any money. So I'm like, how am I supposed to pay bills? I can't pay bills on zero commissions. And there was no type of base pay. And I remember one time sitting in the office of the guy who was supposed to be training me, and I didn't take this dude seriously at all. He was a single guy, no kids, always kept talking about his Maserati. I was like, all right, guy, I'm done with you. I can't. I can't. I'm sorry. I faked the phone call, and I was like, oh my God. Oh, y'all, please don't judge me. I was like,
Bobby, don't judge me. Well, look.
I was like, wow, are you serious? I faked a call. I faked a call that I was being put onto a deployment.
Oh.
And I said, yeah, I can be there. Okay, yeah. Tomorrow? Absolutely. I was like, okay, great. Oh, wow, we're going to Iraq? Y'all don't judge me. I was like, oh my God, I'm a terrible
person. You hear that, Di? That means that if Bobby ever get tired of doing the show, hey, I'm getting deployed.
No,
my
it ain't
phone,
gonna
it
be
keeps
like
going
that.
off.
It ain't gonna be like that, but no.
I feel you. No, for real. See, the thing about it is, careers. When you growing up, right? Everybody tell you got to make sure you get a good job with benefits. My thing was this: when I was working for someone, I needed more than just benefits. My thing was this: can I get a job with benefits and perks? Right?
Yeah.
You got perks, it's more likely you can be able to benefit off of those perks to help you get your little entrepreneurship on just when, you know what I'm saying, to stretch you over. So, I'm not with them anymore. I can say this. When I worked at T-Mobile and them sidekicks came in, we got discounts or we was able to break it up on our bill. And I was like, put that sidekick on the bill, right? And then, employee discount, I think we can only get 2 per year at the time. And mine was coming up. So I bought my discount. I was like, cool. And then I put that bad boy on eBay.
Oh my gosh.
That boy jumped up to $1,000. I was like, straight. As soon as they released, boom, I got my $1,000.
Mhm.
sold my sidekick, and then I was in a competition and I won the sidekick. So then people was like, because we were told you can't sell your sidekick. If you sell your sidekick, we're gonna eliminate your employee discount. And some people got their discount eliminated. But see, the thing about it was you don't tell everybody what you're doing. You just go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
You got to be smart about it. Put it in somebody else's name. Come on
And
now.
that part. But I just think that there are certain things that when you leave a job, you got to get away from the enticement of going back. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, like sometimes when you don't have an opportunity and then the job you're working it's not the best, those other jobs look enticing, but we just can't go back. We can't.
That's not to say burn your bridges, though. Don't burn those bridges.
Oh no, don't burn your bridges, but just don't go back because of the fact that you know why? You might get detained. And that's what happened to Chris Brown.
Oh my gosh.
What
did Chris Brown do? What is he doing?
Okay, so here's the problem.
Here's the problem.
Mm-hmm. Chris Brown, and there's nothing wrong with Chris. I like Chris Breezy. Nothing wrong with him. I just think Chris people should have realized, like, hey, you going over to this country? These people over here got a warrant for your arrest.
They not like us.
Get over there, stay low, or don't go. Because you got the Breezy Bowl coming up, and everybody in their mama talking about, man, I can't wait to go to Chris Brown's concert. But he's detained in the UK, in Manchester. He's in prison. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. And it's over an incident that happened in 2003. So like they had a warrant for his arrest. Somebody notified him he was at the hotel. It's always somebody in the hotel telling somebody something. Mm-hmm. So get the paparazzis, get the cameras. Bro, man,
like fighting? What do you do? Get in trouble for fighting?
It was a assault situation, and honestly, all right, me thinking about how Chris Brown has been trying to clean up his image over the last 15 years, 20 years. I'm sure he probably was just cleaning up his image, being steering clear, but his entourage, you know what I'm saying? Probably some high heads got into it, and he is responsible for the entourage because of the fact that, they on your payroll. And so Chris Breezy is locked up for the time being. I think he's going to be getting out soon. I mean, they can't, if there's any charges, like I'm pretty sure they can settle it easily, but it's just sad though, you know what I'm saying? Because Chris has been doing a lot to build his name, his character. He's a hell of a performance. I take nothing away from him. His artistry is amazing. That's the only guy I would say that comes close, very close to Michael Jackson.
Really?
Yes.
Dancing wise and singing, even better than Usher. I think he's more like Usher than Mike.
Well, no, because Usher dancing skills is cool, but Chris Brown dancing skills are amazing. And Usher to me is more the ladies' entertainment. Chris Brown is like worldwide entertainment. He got those for the ladies too, but you can think about it when you heard.
He got some tough tracks too.
Yeah, that "Look at Me Now" track was fire.
Yeah, that was. That one track was like you just got.
Gotta get it.
Yeah, that one track where he's like, you just got bodied by a singing cat, right? That's
oh my God.
Yeah, that was a hard spit.
Usher was real good.
Ooh, that was crazy. I think that was one of the best disc records that came out last year. No lie.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times on the shorts. They had like one of those animated creations reanimating the song. And it's hilarious, man.
Yeah, he's very talented. A rapper, singer, dancer, you know what I'm saying?
I wonder if he could have like somebody on his team reach out to Trump and see if Trump could save him like Trump saved Brittany Garner when she got in trouble in Korea for the bringing the vaporizer with her and like
vaporizer.
They put her in jail. Yeah, she had like one of those. She brought a smoking vape with her. She's a WNBA.
Oh, a vape. Yeah. Okay, Brittany Garner.
She brought the vape and she got in trouble.
About the U.S., right?
And yeah, Donald Trump had to cut a deal to get the basketball star back to America. And he did. He did that. So I wonder if maybe somebody on Chris Brown's team could reach out to Trump and be like, "Hey, man, save me."
Yes.
Save
Let
me.
Let me get a favor real quick.
Hey,
Crazy.
he's
He's a
probably
hothead. Chris Brown misunderstood. He's just misunderstood, man.
I think so. The
Poor
news
guy.
says, "Sorry, I have to go to Iraq." Is the best excuse ever.
Look.
Who's
Don't
the Lou? Tell us
judge
the Lou.
me. I had already been volunteering. That was my second deployment I had volunteered for. I was like, bro, put me on an effing battle roster, damn it. Get me into war, baby. I'm ready to kill. But anyways.
Bobby.
What?
You don't play video games with guns, do you? Do you play Call of Duty, Bobby?
No.
I promise you. If not,
Call of Duty.
please.
Call of Duty.
The reason why I say that because I think you're a really, really good person who can kill a first-person shooter game.
You could lead a squad,
Yeah,
we're always looking for leaders.
Like, I don't want digital, I want flesh.
I mean, when I joined the military, we were in the middle of a war. We were taught your first job is always to kill. That's your first job. Anything else you learn is secondary to being a soldier and a warrior first and foremost.
I got a feeling we're going to get beat for that, but hey,
very much ingrained to us. It is what it is. Look,
unalive.
It is what it is. Sorry,
unalive. I mean, unalive them. Bobby just unalives them.
I'll bring it down a little bit. I'll bring it down.
I ain't mad at you. But what's y'all take on Chris Breezy? What do you guys feel about that?
I got zero opinion.
None.
Man.
I don't know enough about him.
I hope he has somebody who could help him because laws over there in Europe are way different than they are here in America. It's not as many freedoms over there as there are here.
I was gonna say, do they not have like a statute of limitations?
I don't know. Do they have a place where he could get a defense? Is he gonna have his own lawyer there? Is he gonna have to have a UK lawyer defending him? Like I'm thinking of Johnny Depp when he had his court case, but that's different circumstances. He had a thing with his wife, Chris Brown, sounded like he's just going around punching people again.
Oh, come on, man.
No, all right, I'm sorry. Maybe something was involved, like alcohol or drugs or something.
Yeah, there was like bottles, and it was a fight inside of a club.
Someone pushed his buttons, and he like, what? And then his buddy got in his ear, was like, hey, man, you gonna take that? And he was like, what? I've seen it happen in the movies.
Sometimes with some of these rappers, it don't take much to
be honest with you,
to smash their
you gotta
ego a
maintain
little
an
bit.
image, You got an image you gotta uphold.
Yeah, but this was 2023. Chris Brown been a father for over 2 years, and I know he probably thought about some of his actions because of the fact that he knows that he got. I mean, look, I can't speak for the man. I just wish I'm the type of person who always see the GOOD in the people. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't got no rebuttal. Dr. Poole, where'd you go, brother? Because we about to come up to you right now.
I'm here. My bad.
He said, let me go smoke his vape real quick.
Camera cut out.
He got on his vaporizer. Vaporizer. Let's go ahead and switch over to these short stories that help getting started in the pitch. Talk to us.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. We're going to keep it going. So you got your law of average. You're going out there. You're seeing the people. You got your introduction. You're smiling. You're enthusiastic. You're making eye contact. Yeah. You go to start the conversation and you want to keep it short and simple. You might have heard the term, the KISS factor in a sales pitch. It's switched up different things, keep it simple, stupid, or you could kind of make your own acronym. But I want to try and just make it very short. I'm sorry?
I'm offended.
Oh, no. Wow, you got a long one? Is yours pretty long? No. I find it easy if you can. I find it easy if you can. Huh? Oh, I missed it.
Okay.
I wouldn't have my head.
Let's continue. Let's roll. Go, Dr. Poole.
Okay. Anyways, so what I've found best is to try phrases to try and avoid. Like you don't want to necessarily go into a short story starting off with a negative. So some things you want to try and avoid are things like asking them, "Hey, do you have a second?" Or let's see, hold on, I got some notes here. You want to try and avoid particular things like, "Can I ask you a question or something?" Because it gives them an opportunity to say, "No, I'm busy." Another one is "Sorry for bothering you." Like that's a big one that a lot of people use when they start conversations. Like, "Hey, I'm sorry to bother you. Can I?" And then you go into your pitch, but you're planting a seed in their head, starting off the conversation automatically bothering, and they're, oh, well, you know what, you are bothering me right now, and I don't have the time for this. Um, they could do you have a minute is another great one that a lot of people use. Excuse me, do you have a minute? Do you have a second? Can I have a minute of your time? You're planting a seed in their head again, like, no, I don't necessarily have a minute for you. I'm very busy right now. I have to. And then they go on to what it is they're doing. So if we can figure out how we can throw a quick little short story in there to help create excitement in the pitch, it will help. Something that's like, we're doing a huge promotion, we're doing a huge special, something that puts quick emphasis on a particular topic, and you want to switch it. Yeah, and it'll vary.
Or are you talking about over the phone?
Well, it varies depending on which type of sales field that you're entering into. If you're doing over the phone sales, it's a little bit different, because if you're doing over the phone sales, you probably have a script that you're reading from already with phrasings that you have to follow. If you're able to free flow off of the script, I would probably use something to the effect of like congratulations, or like, wow, you won't believe it. Something that lets them know, like off the bat, like, wow, something impressive is happening. More direct marketing. What I've noticed, because I haven't really done too many phone sales, most of my marketing's been like direct.
I made my phone sales.
Yeah, so if you're doing like trying to pitch a product, it's very simple. Like, hey, we're doing a huge special right now, and then without even realizing that they're starting a conversation, it leads you like automatically into your pitch. You don't have to worry about waiting for that negative to affect them. But again, it varies. If you're doing like automobile sales, the best thing that you can do is to try and get the person into the car in order to get the process started. So if you could find a quick short story that you could use, like, hey, we only got this car here left. This is the only one of this model left, or something to that effect. Like, we're running a special right now on our own personal vehicles, and then throw like a percentage out there, something off. And it'll allow you to kind of be like, you want to take it on a drive, and you could just kind of transition straight into the presentation of your pitch. So
I like that.
Yeah, so that's what we want to try and focus on. If the longer you take in your short story, the less impulse is being built in a person to want to sit there and listen to your presentation. And sometimes the presentation is the long part of the pitch, depending on what sometimes you got to overcome negatives and stuff like that. So, but in order to not even get shut down before you get to the presentation part, you want to try and get in there real quick with something that's just a conversation starter. If you could see they have pictures of family or something on their desk, or kids, or look for things that you could kind of use to your advantage. To help.
Give an example. Or do you want a role play?
Yeah, sure. We could. Yeah. Give me an example. Give me a situation. I'll try it out.
All right. I'm a business owner of a facility that has 5 different, let's say, pools, and I'm walking the grounds around my business, and you come across it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the scenario.
Go ahead. Sir, how you doing? We're doing a crazy special in this neighborhood right now on all swimming pools. We're offering 30% off on free inspections. So and then depending on what it is, I would go straight into the presentation. But that would have been my short story right there. Like, very quick. It's telling you exactly what it is I'm doing. I didn't place any negative in your head to start off with, of thinking, no, it's just, you kind of hit with like, oh, okay, like, what are you doing with pools again? And so it kind of opens that door a little bit more.
Right.
If you were to encounter someone, I guess, who wasn't really filling your short story, you can try and adjust on the fly also. But you could kind of get a good read from a person right after that short story, whether or not they're going to listen to you by the expressions on their face, the interaction, if they engage back with you or not. And if they don't, you could just move on, and don't even waste your time trying to get to a presentation.
So with your short story, you pretty much send a pitch in there. Um, where is the ask for the sale or ask for the meeting?
Well, I would try. It depends. Like if you're an independent, I would go straight for the close, the meeting,
Right.
and the job in the same time. But
Yeah.
some companies that you do sales for require you to go through someone else to do the close on a deal. Like if you sell cars, there's a
Yeah.
closer for cars. If you do house sales, like home improvement sales, there's normally a closer at the office that does the closing of the sale. So you don't actually get that opportunity to close on all the deals, but you're the first thing
Point of
that the customer is seeing. Yeah, exactly. So if you did your job in building impulse in that person and they make that call or they go to the finance guy to buy that car, it's going to be easier for the dude to close because you've built more impulse in that person.
Right.
Yeah.
What I like is what you said. You pretty much, you made it aware that, oh, there is something going on. Now, what I really was intrigued about is like you're discovering if there is a pain point, right?
Yeah.
Because if I've already had the services, then it wouldn't be no need for the service, right? What do
Correct.
you do afterwards? I would recommend. Here's my thing when it
Mhm.
comes to sales. I've always acknowledged, respond, move forward. You know what I'm saying? I acknowledge what is the issue, what is the need, or what is my job to do. Then when I bring in some information, I respond, I don't ignore, I wait. And then after they give me either a rebuttal or a no, then I hit them with a move forward close, which is like, okay, great. I understand you're not busy. I understand you're not interested right now. Let me get your number. After the summer, maybe we have some other promos that you'd be interested in that could probably save you some money. What's your
Yeah.
phone number? You feel what
Yeah.
I'm saying? What I
Mhm.
end up doing is, and what I always encourage, the short stories is great. Make sure you get something out of it because there's 7 levels of closing. You got to close. You got to. I mean, when I say 7 levels, closing, getting the phone, getting the name, that's a close. Seeing if there's a need, that's not or not a need, that's a close. Touching them again, following up, making sure they remember you. That's a close. Once you get to that 7th close, meaning that you touched them 7 times and they actually didn't reject you, the 8th one is usually the one who's like, I'll set up a meeting or I'll do something with you. You know what I'm saying? Do you have any cleaning products or whatever the case may be? You
Yeah.
end up getting something out of them. But the thing about it is you gotta make sure that you don't come off salesy, even
Yes.
though you're selling. You know what I'm saying? I did over the phone sales. My first thing was like if somebody was to call me like, hey, man, I speak to the person who manages who manages the cell phone. Like, okay, great. He's not in. I'm like, okay, who's he? David. Okay, great. When's a good time for me to call back to speak to David?
Yeah.
Well, he's usually here in the morning. Okay, great. What time? Like 10:30, 11 o'clock?
Mhm.
Like, well, 11. Okay, well, great. Do we have an email so it won't be weird when I call him that he could be expecting my call via email? Sure. Because they'll give an email quick before they start giving him your schedule and everything because they want to make sure that they hurry up and get you off the phone. In those 10 seconds, I've gotten 3 closes out the way. I got David, I got his schedule, and I got his email. That way, when I talk to him, it's just on the first initial time that I talk to him will be the 4th close because I've already did the touches from different patterns. I call them back. Well, I already called, got the information, got the phone number, got the email address, and then I got his schedule. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
when
You're not giving up. You keep on
yeah,
pushing the envelope.
and then the law of averages works. Like you said, the law of averages, which people don't know. If you fill your funnel up with 100 people, you're going to close 20%, 10 to 20% of those people. And yes, 100 people is a lot. However, you want to make sure that you built that funnel. You're going to do something until you close a deal, and you may get a win, because what the word luck means when preparation meets opportunity. You may be on your 15th, 20th call, and somebody just say, you know what? I just was talking to somebody about that. Boom, I'm right here. Let's schedule a time and make your times very simple for them to remember. You can either be Friday at 4, Thursday at 3, Wednesday at 1, Tuesday at 2, Monday at noon. Those, I mean, you're going to always remember Friday at 4. Why? Because 4 and Friday sounds the same. Thursday at 3, they all start with the TH. Wednesdays at 1, because we end at 1. Very similar. And, Tuesday at 2, you still got those same things.
As you said that, I recognize that exact pattern that you just said. Every single time period that you selected had to do with the day of the week that you were talking about.
Exactly.
I got to tell you, as a consumer, when people come and have given me sales pitches, I'll listen to them, but I can smell the BS right out the door, and I don't want to ever feel like I'm being scammed into something or made to believe that I'm being tricked into getting something that's actually not going to do me any good. Exactly. So I'll tell people kindly, you seem nice, but I'm not here to waste your time, and I know you're not here to waste mine.
Exactly.
And I think that's why I like my husband. My husband's not like that. He's not direct like me. He's like, let me get my wife. I'm like, just tell them no. He's like, you do a better job of it.
Right. Well, and I understand him too, because he's in the same sale. He's in acquisitions of sales of client acquisition, right? So he understands that what goes around comes around. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? So I know he doesn't want to be the type of person where if he's knocking on a business and saying, hey, I understand your roof is leaking, we can be able to help. No, like, bruh, I got the solution you need. You probably don't want to go with me, but I can really help you right now. Mm-hmm. And then they, you know what I'm saying? I get it. But, for every no, you got to go through. You got to go through at least 10 no's to get a maybe, 20 to get a yes.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely.
I love, man, sales is my thing. But
I know.
You want to know what's your thing, Bobby?
Well, what's my thing?
Veteran topics, because you like to shoot. So go ahead and shoot us up on this next topic.
I didn't have a veterans topic for today. I have a different one about bringing prosperity to America.
That's what veterans do.
Listen.
And shoot those guns off.
Bang, bang, bang.
Every day. Dr. Poole, how many guns you got? Did you hear me?
Dr. Poole? How many guns?
I'm sorry, what was that?
How many guns do you have?
Me? Oh, none yet. It's I gotta bring a lot of. It's weird. I want to get a gun legit, so I have to have a bunch of paperwork. Unless I have the real ID. If I get my real ID, then all I need to do is show them the real ID. But if you're just using your regular driver's license, you got to show them 2 letters of proof of address. You got to show them your social security number. You got to have your birth certificate, your driver's license. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff. But if you wanted to buy it, like, you could buy the gun, though. They'll sell you the gun. You just don't, I guess, have the paperwork for it or something like that. So I'm kind of waiting, waiting a little bit.
That goes
I could probably still go to Big Five and buy a shotgun for house protection.
That goes very much against the law. You don't get that. You don't get that weapon until your butt has been cleared for that weapon. The last shotgun that I bought it secondhand, and even though I bought it that day in cash, I had to wait for my background check to come back cleared by the FBI before I was able to come and get it.
I like shooting guns though. I've shot guns before.
I keep forgetting y'all are in California. Like it's not the same.
It's not the same. Our gun laws is different.
I know. Over in California.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like I could probably get a gun off the street easier than going to a store and buying one right now. It's crazy.
Yeah, but you buying yourself a life sentence if you get.
Let's not do that.
Well, private sellers, they're not necessarily illegal guns if it's from private sellers, right?
Well, they ain't gonna tell you they got bodies on it, are they?
Yeah, I guess it's a trust thing.
Like, I bought this from Jerome. Oh, you mean Tony? No, Jerome. He told me like you talking about Tony. He's right there. He's number 7 on the most wanted list right there. And then you get 52 bodies on this gun, and it's in your possession.
Man, over here must be talking crap or something. I swear a bee just flew by me. I don't know how it got in here or what. So y'all see me karate chop in the air, like mind your business.
I thought you was about to shoot it.
Mind your business. All
You was
right. You
like,
shoot
I
no
thought
damn
I
bee.
thought you went down under your desk and pulled up your gun.
I ain't a when it comes to those things, I just don't like getting stung. Okay, so let's talk about what's happening right now. So Donald Trump, our president, just finished his Gulf tour that he went around, around the Middle East. They called it the Gulf something tour. I don't know, but he toured a bunch of places. Went to Abu Dhabi, went to the United Arab Emirates, and basically what ended up happening is that Donald Trump's biggest thing is peace through prosperity. And he doesn't want to just make America great again. He wants to make every single place in the world great again, because what's going to happen is when there's prosperity around the world, there is less war. There's peace when there's peace happening. And so what he did was he secured, I believe it was last I read, it was $10 trillion in investments from the United Arab Emirates that is going to help bring jobs here to the United States. And if you're wondering what type of jobs, thank you for asking. So there's going to be
What kind of jobs?
I'm about to say, it's not. You sure that wasn't that big ass plane?
They're going to be the plane was a gift that's going to go back into the arsenal for the United States Air Force to use. That's not Trump's personal plane. A lot of people are getting that. Oh, I know. I'm well aware what the media talks about. No, that's going right back to the arsenal, because apparently, like, Air Force One is a very old plane that they've been flying around, and so that's been needing to get upgraded, which he is doing. They're upgrading Boeing. I do think the president, regardless if it's Trump or not, deserves to fly around something a little nice. You know what I mean? They're out there doing important business around the world.
Gold toilets.
So as far as bringing jobs and bringing prosperity to America and keeping it here, the president did secure contracts with the United Arab Emirates. What they're going to do is they're going to work with the U.S. is going to work with their oil and gas industry to open up more energy resources here. That's going to provide over 1,000 jobs. They're going to be doing some sort of mining of minerals, from what I read. And that's going to produce more skilled laboring jobs as well. And then also, they're going to be working with their aerospace industry to upgrade the Boeing 777 and 776, I believe, is what I was reading. So different industries are going to be coming, and they're going to be investing here into the United States, which is going to bring and produce not just jobs here, but in the UAE as well. So jobs on both fronts for both countries.
So that, and when is that supposed to take effect, and will that last even past his term?
That's what the whole point is, to last past his term.
Gotcha.
Assuming people playing their cards right. Donald Trump's a businessman. He's not a politician. He ain't over there to shake hands and kiss babies. He's trying to make business deals to make us prosperous, to make this country prosperous. That's what's being said. That's what I'm seeing. That's what it looks like. So we will see. We've always said only time will tell, but he's a businessman, which is probably why he got elected. People want somebody who down here to take care of business and stop playing these games and messing around with money. Mind you, Donald Trump works solely for free. He does not take a paycheck. He has not taken a single penny of what he has been able to. Instead, every single quarter that the president gets paid, he donates all of it. 100% of that money goes to other charities and organizations.
Hey, so go ahead, Donald Trump. we got a comment from the Lou. He said Trump is known for being concerned about everybody, right? He said, "I got a bridge."
What's that bridge made out of?
Probably gold boats from Donald Trump. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. Here's the thing. Like, I do know that everybody was over at that meeting except for Apple, which is Tim Cook, and Jeff Bezos, which is Amazon. And a lot of those stocks are just like plummeting right now because of the fact they probably wasn't over there. Because they also are focusing on tech. They're also focusing on how these things are going to manifest over in America, because they're going to need the technology to match. Which I'm like, hey, go for it. Me personally, I'm gonna be honest with you. It looks No, it just looks kind of uncomfortable because of the fact that these are we. Here's okay. I've never seen a president do this before, right?
Do what?
So I'm not sure if that's what if that's what politics is. You go over there, you make deals with $1 trillion, right? $1 trillion deals to help build our economy with their money. So if what happens if there's a blowback or something, there's a fallout? Do we give them all the things that we had made? I know there's contracts involved, obviously, but like I always think about the what ifs, right? Like,
Contingencies. You
yeah,
got to
What
have
if are for
contingency
sale?
plans. You know,
yeah.
I
have
hear you.
fallback plans just in case, and then a fallback plan on the fallback plan on the fallback plan
Hmm.
is the way Donald Trump's mind thinks about things. You know, so even if there is something that were to happen negative out of this for some reason, I'm sure he's got a way to counteract it, or at
Because
least
ten
be able
trillion
to
dollars
get
is
ahead
a
of
lot.
it.
Ten
Hmm.
trillion
Yeah.
dollars is a lot of money.
But
Because our country,
look at how much they did for the celebrations of that guy. Like that's the biggest thing I got out of watching the videos of his trip to the Middle East was how he was celebrated by those
He was
people. I mean,
absolutely
they
celebrated there, playing the national
yeah,
anthem.
it
People
looked
were
like a MAGA
chanting his
rally,
name
but
and
it was
stuff. It sure
all Middle
did.
Eastern Indian, you know, people from the Middle East. And it's the same people who, if I watch the news, they tell me these people are like terrorists and evil Muslims and whatnot, you know, like Saudi Arabia is another good example too of a place in the Middle East where they're trying to make changes to be more positive, but they have such a negative stereotype placed on them that they'll
Yeah, so
have a
they're
really hard
they're
time being
wanting to
viewed
create
positively.
more of a tourist industry over there. They're trying to create more of a tourist industry over there, but a lot of people don't want to go because let's
because of
face
the
it,
stigma. This is stigma that
because
they have over
because of
there.
the stigma, because of especially for how women are treated.
Right.
Yeah,
You're not gonna take your wife over there and then have her treated like shit, but expect money to you know what I mean to be given to people. I think that's anywhere, right? So if you have like even you know you go to a different country and you're there to spend your money over there to enhance their economy, you're going to expect to be treated at least nicely and
yeah.
civil, smile
I
on your
agree.
face and be decent. But if a woman talks to a man and he's like, I ain't gonna talk to you. I can tell you right now, my husband would pull me straight out of there and be like, we ain't giving you a cent of our hard earned money if you think you're gonna be disrespectful to us.
Well, here's
Uh,
something
it's
like
a cultural thing maybe, but still.
yeah, I watch a lot of wrestling, and sometimes they have events in Saudi Arabia, like uh,
Mhm.
and when they're doing these live events, it's really interesting to see how their culture is shifting. You know, they have the wrestlers going out into the towns doing photo ops and stuff like that, and the progression of their people there in Saudi Arabia is one that's becoming more open. Their leaders are talking about how they're trying to give the women more rights. They can drive now. You know, they don't need to
I
have
did see that.
three.
They are
They
able
don't
to
need
drive.
they don't need to have three men agree with them to be have their case proven in a court of law.
Oh wow.
You know, there are a
You know,
lot
he's
of
talking about touring
transitions that are happening over there, and so it doesn't surprise me to see people in. It was India that Trump was in, right?
Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, that's where India.
No, I know New Delhi is in India. I don't think
Oh,
Abu Dhabi is. I think
United States.
Abu Dhabi is in Saudi Arabia. I think.
oh, okay, yeah, the Saudis. Yep.
With Saudis, yeah, their prince was very the Saudi prince is um very open to wanting to have peace in the Middle East and wanting to
Yeah,
listen to what Trump has to say and stuff, and that means a lot.
they
Yeah.
used to burn our flags.
It
They're not
means a
burning
lot,
our
you know what I
flags
mean?
anymore.
Like people want to crap on our president saying he's going to start wars and stuff, but here he is, you know, having tours all through the Middle East who we've been at war with for years. And you know, and they're happy to have him there. They're listening to him. This is a good thing. I want to believe it's a good thing. I don't want to be in a war. I know y'all don't want to be in a war.
Nah, I'm not going to war.
Not I mean not unless it's necessary. You know what I
I
mean? Like
don't
not
know
unless
what
it's
I don't
necessary.
I don't know what life is like without war.
All right.
You know what I
Yeah, that's
mean?
true. There's always been war since the 80s. But here's the thing. I mean, we just gotta, you know what I'm saying, find out anyway, because of the fact that it's like they're not going to make any. I mean, the ink is dry on the paper, I'm assuming, because he's already on his way back over on the West Coast.
Yeah, he is. He's on his way back here.
So,
I'm worried about those planes, man. I hope they do a sweep on all equipment that comes out. I mean, like I give Saudi Arabia a chance and a shot, but I wouldn't underestimate them. You know, if they're giving the president a plane, I'm having every CIA, FBI agent sweep that plane with every single piece of technology we have. Make sure there's no bugs on that plane. Make sure there's no nothing wrong with the engine. You know,
I don't believe they would fly that here with a. I think that before it even took off from wherever they flew it here from, that would have already happened. Did y'all know that plane is here in San Antonio?
Nah, is it?
It
Go
sure
take a
is.
picture. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Come on, Bobby. You can take a picture. Come on.
Sure.
When it goes in the air, I know
Sure.
you can. At least take a
Sir, I
picture.
like my job.
It's supposed to
Sir.
be a huge plane.
It is.
Like 2 stories. Got, like, I'm saying. So you can take a picture while it's in the air. Just send a picture and put it on the social media. You know what I'm saying?
If you think they fly that stuff around San Antonio during the daytime? Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
But I mean, you're gonna hear it too, because that thing is big.
yeah. I never see the president come in on a plane, but I always hear those choppers coming in, those big military choppers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Air Force 2 is a helicopter.
I remember Obama when he got in office, and I lived over in the Crenshaw district. Like, I don't know if it happened, but I think they landed on the actual Crenshaw school field like around midnight and got into, because I saw a motorcade drive around the block and they were going somewhere, because, you know, Crenshaw is really known for areas that, they have the Baldwin's Hills where a lot of celebrity actors, you know what I'm saying, want to keep to their roots, live at, and stuff like that. I don't know if it was Obama, but this was around the time when he was president. And I was like, and I'm a heavy sleeper, but it woke me the hell up, because I was like, we about to get broken into. Hold on. I go out and I'm like, somebody landing on the field, literally, with black helicopters. And I'm just like, and then afterwards, I just saw red and blue flashing lights, but it wasn't police cars. And they just kept going. And on that right there, off of 52nd and 8th Ave, it's a long street. Mm-hmm. It's a long street on 8th Ave. There's no turns until you get to 48th. So there's 51st, 52nd, 50th, 49th. And when you get to 48th, you can only make a left. And that goes to the other side of the Crenshaw school. And I was like, the car just kept going. And it was like 1 o'clock in the morning at the time. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, I never thought it was the president until somebody was like, hey, you know, Obama's in town. Maybe it was him. I was like, Mom Obama! Mom Obama, where were you, brother?
Yep, I missed that one.
So then the U.S. partnering with the oil and gas industry using their natural resources and stuff is going to help lower energy costs here in the United States, which helps everybody regardless of what tax bracket you fall in.
Yeah, yeah. And side note,
always a good thing.
Side note, I want to wish some well wishes out to the Biden family. You know, just side note. President Biden, former President Biden, is battling prostate cancer, and they saying it's very, very, very severe.
Aggressive,
yeah. I can imagine he's probably was dealing with this behind the scenes when he was in office, but he just didn't, you know, obviously for secrecy and the whole face that he couldn't speak on it. But
I heard he was trying to sign like a book deal or something like that, and I'm over here like, dude, just go live your life, stay out of the limelight, go relax, go.
I don't think his wife will let him.
You know.
Yeah. Honestly, I think his wife and his immediate family was the reason why he had to step down from running for president for the second term, because of the fact that, brother, man, you know what I'm saying? You did your job. Regardless of how other people see you, you served your country. You served your I mean, you didn't get impeached, right? So you did well enough job for you to be able to hold it the whole 4 years. well done. Get your rest, brother. Because look at Jimmy Carter, right? R.I.P. to Jimmy Carter. He was around 25, 30 years after his presidency was over.
It could be like 100, right? Something like that.
Yeah. His wife, who was in hospice, died before him. Jimmy Carter was in hospice before her. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, out of all these things, no matter how big of a boat you have, no matter how big of a plane, no matter what office you have, you got one life, right? You know what I'm saying? And you can help everybody in this world, but if you do not help yourself, what was it for? You feel what I'm saying?
I saw
Yeah.
I saw like it wasn't quite a meme, but I guess it was like a picture of something, and it was showing skeletons laying next to each other, and it showed, this person was black, this person was white, this person was a millionaire, this person was poor, but you can't tell. You
No.
can't tell who's who because at the end of the day, they were all skeletons. They were all just bones.
I
You know
wonder
what I
if they
mean?
can do that with fat people, because you know what I'm saying. My bone, I got big bone,
Nope.
right?
Nope.
My bone structure is a bit different, because you know what I'm saying.
They said people who say they're big bone, there ain't no
I have a high bone density.
hell no.
That's what my doctor told me. He's like, your bone density is density. I was
Oh,
like,
funny.
okay, so I'm big boned.
It's those cats who get buried with all their stuff that set them apart in the skeletons, and you open up that coffin, they got the big Rolex
old
chain
chain.
still. You got a big watch on their skeleton wrist.
I'll be honest with you, man. I'm pretty sure some people, they know they were on that last shift of their job working at the cemetery. It was like, look,
Mm.
I already put in my 2 weeks.
Right.
Excavation real quick. My old buddy got a $50,000 chain up in there. He ain't needing it.
No. Yep.
It's a
He
wrap.
Give me
ain't
those
needing
gold
this.
teeth while I'm at it.
You know what I'm saying? They be like,
Crazy.
you steal from a dead man? He ain't here. He ain't using it. I'm putting it to good use.
I
Nah,
mean, it makes sense. You know what I mean? He's not
right.
gonna
You know,
use it.
it's crazy. I'm just messing around. Please don't make this into a soundbite. Whoever's doing the cuts, that's gonna be real bad. Talk about excavating people just so we can take their chain. Like, who's coming? Debo. Who?
Oh
Debo.
man, hide your chain. I'm gonna
Yeah,
just tuck
my
mine in.
grandmama gave me that chain.
My grandmama give me that chain. This my black punk. R.I.P. Timeless, man. So it looks like we at the last. Oh no, we got something else. Bobby, parenting topic of the week. You got to talk to us. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bring it
Do.
in. Bring it in.
Most of the parenting
I'm gonna
topics
be
that I bring
taking
up is
notes.
because
Taking notes from here on out.
good. I hope so. I hope so. We're here to give you some news that you can use. So most of the parenting topics that I bring up onto the channel is to not just bring emphasis on what I think is important for us to be doing as parents, but know that I'm walking the things that I talked to you about. In previous episodes, I've talked about the 3 S's to success. The only reason why I've coined that term is because I've walked that. I've walked that walk. And so I can tell you where and how to get there. And this is the steps in order to do it, right? But the same thing with parenting. And the parenting topic that I've kind of looked at this week is setting expectations for your kids, setting them early on, what it is that you expect of them. That way that you can have a meaningful goal. We want to make sure that in the short time our kids are with us, that we're being impactful and intentional in things that we're doing as parents. And it's not that we're here to nag on them. We're here to provide what the goal looks like, because when they get to be a certain age, we want them to exceed those goals. We want them to be able to set those expectations, right? We want our ceiling to be their floor,
Yeah.
right? Is how we would in the parenting world is how we would say, here's the ceiling, here's where I've accomplished, but here's where I want you to start. Let this ceiling, let the highest I've ever accomplished be the foundation for what's going to go on further, so that you can take this and go on and achieve newer and better heights than I did. We want our kids to be better than us. And I think that in order for us to see our kids be successful, as we should all want, is to set expectations for kids. And while I think we're living in a culture where it seems like more parents are trying to be their kids' friends instead of
Yeah.
being parents. And right
I am
now,
not your friend.
your children are going to have so many friends. You are not here to be a friend. You are here to be a light and to be a guide to those children. We are here to set examples. And in order to do that, we have to set expectations.
Yeah.
I can give you just
Set
a small I
examples.
can give you just a small example of what I do daily. And I share this with you because I don't just talk the talk, right? I walk the walk.
Yeah.
Um, our kids are young kids, 5 years old, or I'm sorry, Mercy just turned 6 last week. So she's 6
Oh, happy
now.
birthday, Mercy.
Yeah, right. Woo, 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 woo.
So Mercy's 6, Grace Lily is 8, and both of them wake up by an alarm clock. And the whole idea is the expectation is when you hear this alarm clock go off, this means the day starts. This means we get up. We don't hit snooze and take our butts back to bed, because I talk to my kids about this a lot. In order to be successful when your alarm clock goes off, that is your time to get up. We don't snooze 5 or 10 times, and I'm not trying to judge adults who do that, but in my house, that ain't working for me. It doesn't work for me, and it's not gonna work for my kids. And by setting the expectation is when this alarm goes off, this means you get out of bed. This means you put on your uniform, you put your shoes on, you go get your teeth brushed, and you go wait to get your hair done in the, in the living room, or wait for my husband to come out of the room and stuff so he can finish taking care of that. But I'm not gonna say we're not here to baby you, but our kids have come to the age we don't need to dress you. We don't need to talk to you about what it is that you need to be doing daily, because we've set the expectation. When the alarm goes off, you get up. When this
Mhm.
alarm goes off, you come and pull your shirts off the hangers, you get your rompers off the hanger, and we get up and we start our day.
Yeah.
And just little things like that. Um, I've talked to my older daughter. I am not your alarm clock. I will not be your alarm clock. If
Mm-mm.
you are late, that looks like it's on you, dog. I don't know what to tell you. And I do talk to her like that. Look, don't judge me. I do call my
Oh,
daughter dog sometimes, a whole lot, probably more
no,
because
I'm
she's just
100%
she's
behind you.
older. So I'm like, I
I'm
tell I told her straight up, I said, "Look, dog, I ain't your alarm clock. I ain't gonna come knocking on your door." She ain't got a door right now because we took that away, because we hold her accountable for the things that she does. She effed around and found out. She got her door taken away, you know what I mean?
boom, boom, boom.
So, um, holding your kids to higher expectations, I feel like is going to allow them to be more successful. But not only that, it's gonna hopefully be where it allows your kids to be more selective on who they hang out with. I told my older daughter this. I told her, "You will find out very quickly who's a timeout child and who's a spanked child. You will, because the discipline in those children are gonna be very different.
Different. Yeah.
It's gonna be very, very different. You're gonna tell somebody whose parents were consistent on what the expectation was, and making sure that you're setting a standard for your kids. We want our babies to be successful. We don't want them to so much as be coddled. You can still love on your children at home. Nobody's not saying that. God knows I smother my baby, but there's still an expectation. And because I love her, I set that expectation. When you love your kids, you set expectations, you set goals for them, and you expect them to achieve them. And I don't think that's not too much. I told my girls today, we're moving some things around in our laundry room. They are learning in the next couple of weeks how to wash their own clothes, because I'm not here to wash your clothes for you. I'm
Right.
here to help guide you and show you what to do. But after a while, this will be your responsibility. This will no longer be on my plate. You know, I've seen adults where like their parents are still washing their clothes. They're like, "Oh, I don't know how to pump gas." What?
Yeah.
I don't know how to fold a blanket. What?
Yeah.
Damn.
You are you kidding me? How are you gonna go through life not knowing these basic things? And we don't want to set our kids up for little failures. Those
Yeah.
are little failures.
The expectation things is very, very real, because of the fact that when you start setting the expectations at the right age, like you said, you got them right now at the age of 6, right?
Mhm.
Washing, learning how to do things. Um, it sets the standard for them when they get older. They know that, I know how to do this. I know how to do that. And me personally, I'll be honest with you. There are certain things I did not want my kids to do at early age, because of the fact that I felt like it would cause more harm than good. But then when I realized that, you know what, I was their age. I was earlier than them when I was washing my clothes, and I realized like, you know what, Corey, cut the umbilical cord. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep doing everything for them. You know, there's certain things like I'm like, I'm kind of like itchy. Like I'm not gonna let them cook because you know what I'm saying. That's fire. You burn my house down. I only got one house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not expecting my 6-year-old to wash clothes, but my 8-year-old is about to be 9. There will be an expectation. However, my little one will be watching. This
right.
is what we do. And she does love to help because she knows when I'm in the laundry room and she's like, "Can I put in the white stuff?" And just so you know, it's OxyClean, all right? Let's cool it. It's OxyClean. She likes touching it and she likes putting it in the little holders and stuff. So she likes
Bobby. Right?
she likes to help me. You know what I mean? I mean, man, your clothes are bright, right? No, it's like
honestly, let me tell you one thing though. The reason why I had started washing my clothes when I was a kid because my mom always messed my clothes up. And then and I bought my own clothes. And I'll never forget. There's Donald, you probably remember the place called Downtown Hookups. No, Down Low Hookups. They used to be in the Gallery Mall and in the Fox Hill, Gallery Mall and Del Amo Mall. Down Low Hookups. You can, and then Aeropostale. You can get.
Oh, okay. I know Aeropostale. I'm not familiar with the other one.
Yeah, Down Low Hookups. You can get the clothes very cheap. And of course, like there's also TJ Maxx. Then there was Mervyn's, and then there was
I love Mervyn's.
Wow. Then Marshalls. So we would.
I did Marshalls and Ross for my shopping mostly.
Marshalls and Ross, right?
Target, RJ.
Like, yeah, I would get my clothes. From Marshalls mainly because of the fact they had my size, and it was like I can get Dockers. Everybody was like, "Oh, you got name brand Dockers for $9.99." I'm like, "Yeah, they didn't know I paid $9, but I got it." And I'll never forget. I had some tan Dockers, and I had a green shirt with a red collar and a blue shirt. It was like it was all kind of colors. I got pictures with me in it. I got a picture that circulated throughout high school with me holding the brush. I had one of those, we used to go to Carson Mall and take pictures with the little all the background, everybody, you know what I'm saying? And hey,
I remember that.
My mom was like, "I wash your clothes, you just got a folder." And I go in there and I'm like, "Where my shirt at?" And so I get my shirt. It's burgundy, pink, yellow. No. I was like,
no.
And when you buy it from like Marshalls and stuff, you don't get they don't have them again. So I went back there. It was a polo, Ralph Lauren. I was looking at it. I was like, no. I was hurt. I went through all.
Did you tell her anything? Out of curiosity.
Did I tell her?
Yeah, like, "Hey, mom, thank you for my clothes, but mom, you messed up my shirt."
I'm 14 years old. My mom would probably beat the brakes off me if I'd have said, "Mama, you messed up my shirt." She would have been like,
"Excuse me?"
Yeah, exactly. Nah,
I brought you into this world.
I'll take you out.
Fuck your shirt.
So I was like, you know what? I'll just wash my own clothes from now on. Well, as soon as my hamper got big, I'd be like, "I'm going downstairs," because we had a washer in the apartment building, and I washed my clothes. And I was heartbroken because every time I look at that picture, because I like everybody got a picture. Some people put it on their folder when they go to school. You know how we used to go to school and put the folders from people who gave us the little cameras that we posed on the weekend.
No lie, I got mine on the fridge. I was 15 years old. We called them glamour shots here.
Yeah, that's what it was. Glamour shots.
The glamour shots. I got one when I was 15. Yeah, it's funny because I remember this one story I had given my English teacher in my sophomore year. I had given her a picture of me, and I remember one day there was this little black dude. I hated him because he was so mean. He was a jock. He was an a-hole, little short, chunky dude. Every time he walked into class, he was like, "Oof. Oof." He would do this. I'm like, "Boy, please, you were not cute." Oh, he would make me so mad. I remember one day he was looking at the teacher's pictures, and he's like, "Yo, Miss A, who this girl right here?" She's like, "Oh, that's Bobby." And she points to me, right, all nerdy little me with glasses. I'm like, no. no, don't look at me, right? He's all, that ain't her. She's like, yes, it is. She handed me the picture, and they were like, man, take off your glasses. I was like, asshole. He is super ugly to me. Anyway, he goes, you sure that's you? Really, guy? Yes, it's me. And he's like, I didn't know you could be pretty. Yeah, you're ugly ass.
Dang.
Oh God.
People are rude, man.
I remember doing laundry at an early age. I had to do a
Mhm.
lot of that stuff at an early age. I started
Yeah.
doing dishes early. I was like pumping gas. I like pumping gas because I like the smell of gasoline and stuff. But
I did
I had
too.
a
My
single
dad would let
mom.
me pump gas for that too.
Yeah. So she spent a lot of time working. So I had to try and help out where I could around the house and whatnot.
Right.
If I couldn't use the stove, I could at least make some sandwiches. Make some sandwiches for us or something.
Right.
Try
I'll
and
never
help out.
forget. My brother was trying to make some beans. We talk about it to this day. And the beans was on the stove boiling. I think I was 7, so he had to be 12. And he went to go take the beans off the stove, and the pot fell over on his leg, and
Oh,
his flesh melted off of his leg for a while. We had to, my mom, he was like, it's funny now, but it was not funny then.
Funny
He had to
then.
yeah.
call the emergency. They had to literally cut the jeans off of his clothes, off of him.
Dang.
Yeah, we talk about it now, but it's that's one of the scary things about letting my kids have a little too much freedom, because of the fact that they don't understand the ramifications of an error that can go bad, that can cause them a lot of harm, right?
Mhm.
I've seen it happen to my nephew. What I'm saying, he was on, well, that's different. He wasn't trying to cook. But I think kids like need extreme supervision when they're dealing with fire, because fire can go fire can go further than just, what I'm saying, burning yourself. You can burn down the house. Hell, you can have a gas leak. What I'm saying. You think you're turning on the fire, and then you hear that, and there's still gas seeping out, and they're like, the fire won't turn on. And then I'm like, you still got the knob on? Turn it off.
Oh my God.
I go downstairs, the whole house smelled like gas. I'm like, we about to blow up.
We don't have gas in our house. We have electric, so the kids know to stay away from the stove. But earlier, Mercy came in the kitchen and she goes, Mommy, what are you cooking? And I was making I always make dinner before the show. We eat dinner really early on Mondays because I do 100% of the cooking in my house. And so I made hatch green chili cheeseburgers today for dinner, but I made some homemade fries and
Nice.
stuff. So I had cut up some potatoes and I was frying the fries. And she comes in, she's like, "Man, Mommy, it smells good in here." I was like, "Yeah, I'm making fries." And she comes, and this little girl puts her face over over the pot, see what I'm doing. I'm like, "Man, get out of here." You know what I mean? Like, I
Girl,
was like, "I just
like
had some
grease
grease
pop,
pop on my knuckle a second ago." I was like, "It burns. Get your face
burn.
out of here." I said, "Don't ever come up here to the stove unless I'm here and we're doing something together. Right now, you're not cooking with me.
I
There's
know
gonna
that
come a
fear.
time there's gonna come a time where you'll be cooking with me, and
Yeah.
we'll be going over cooking this summer and stuff because dun, 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 my husband and I have made the decision to homeschool the girls
Oh,
and
nice.
stuff. So, yeah, their private school, the tuition is going up for some reason again,
Oh,
and we're just gonna give it a shot. Let me give you some news that you can use. Texas came out this year; they had passed SB2, which we were waiting on. It's a state bill that got approved for school vouchers. These vouchers are going to be used, being offered to each student, up to $10,000 and stuff per student here in the state of Texas and stuff, and it can be used at a private school, but that does not mean every private institution will take them.
right.
So we're kind of playing by ear right now, and those aren't going to be available. That'll be first come, first served starting September 2026. So starting the following school year, not this
Right.
upcoming one, but the following year. And so for that reason, we're gonna try homeschooling. And so
Yes.
it'll be different. I've homeschooled before for a couple of years and stuff, and so at that time, my daughter did a lot of cooking because in my home we are raising God-fearing, independent young ladies who are going to serve their husbands well and be able to be good mommies to their children and stuff at that time. In order to do that, I have to be a good mommy and be a good example. And
Yeah.
I work very hard to show my children that Mama can work outside the house, but she still works inside the house and constantly sowing seeds into my kids.
Look,
Constantly. It is a daily
it's a
thing.
daily job.
It is a daily
Parenting,
thing.
sowing seeds, educating is a daily job. So, Don, Dr. Poole, when you have kids, if that's in your timeline, if that's in your MCU Marvel thread timeline, if you have kids, please know you will always be teaching. Everything is a teaching moment. Sometimes you ain't gonna mention it then right away, but you can bring it back up, especially when you're frustrated. You know what I'm saying? You can say, "You remember that time when you fell and I didn't say nothing?" You like teachable moment. Reason being, I wanted you to get yourself back up. I wasn't gonna help you. You know why? Because you needed to get up on your own. You know what I'm saying? Teachable moment. You know
I
what I'm
try
saying?
and instill those lessons in my cat.
Sorry.
Okay,
I
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
know
I don't
your
know.
guys' experience, parents. There's times when I'm going to open up the stove and the stove is on, and my cat starts walking up to the stove door.
Oh,
And I'm like,
no.
no, get away from it. It's hot, hot.
Yeah,
Hot. Get
yeah.
away.
You don't want no flame fur line, boy. You do not.
Why
But
does it smell
look,
like roasted kitty in here, man?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Look, we we've come to the final section of the show. So to all the viewers out there, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to Technically Speaking News, giving you news that you can use. And so around this time, Bobby, tell us what you got going on and what does your business do?
So down here in the San Antonio area, we service several different counties surrounding Bexar County, Atascosa, Wilson County, Medina County, all the counties surrounding the San Antonio area and stuff. And so we do water mitigation services. So if for some reason you have a busted refrigerator line, you got a bad washer leak, a water heater busted for some reason, give us a call. We do work directly with your homeowner's insurance to make sure that you're being given and taken care of very fairly by your homeowner's insurance company. We can help get the water mitigation services you need in order to protect your home, especially with summer months coming up. Just know that if water is left sitting for too long, it takes less than 48 hours for mold to be created, which can make your home unlivable. So let's stay safe. Let's make healthy decisions for yourself and for your family. And so if for some reason you do have any type of water issues, give me a call. You'll find me on Instagram, bobby.lopez.5, or you can find me here on Facebook at Bobby Lopez.
All right. Thank you, Bobby. Dr. Poole, don't be cruel. Tell them what you do.
Yeah, with all niceness, we are cleaning pools and spas for you all summer long. We're going to get them nice and blue, and you'll be so blue you could see the sky through the reflection of your water. And all you got to do for that service is just reach me at DR Pool on Facebook or Instagram. Future reference, I'm going to be starting a new page. It's going to be titled The OG Millennial. And I'm going to go ahead and create that account soon. So you'll be seeing some posts by me under the title OG Millennial. It won't be a robot. I'm just letting you guys know now. It will be me.
No
So,
bots.
yeah, no bots. We're going to maybe get this podcasting thing going. See how it works.
Cool. Looking
No
forward
doubt,
to
no doubt.
supporting you in your
What do you
channel.
think of that title, OG Millennial? We went and we looked at trademark. It's not trademark. I'm going to
Not
trademark
trademark
it.
it. Don't say too much.
Ugh.
Yeah, shit, I shouldn't even have said nothing at all, right?
We
Patent
live,
pending.
baby. We live.
Patent is going to be pending soon, very soon. OG
Very soon.
Millennial.
But look, and for my brother out there, tech_Vine_go. Tech_Vine_go. I think I said that right. If you are in the San Antonio area and you're looking for some property out there, or you're looking to be able to get you some vacation time, you want to reach out to our brother from another mother, our main man from the mainland, Gmo Geronimo. He's only on Instagram and Facebook. He's not on TikTok. I am. So if you need that, make sure you go ahead and follow up with him because he's on his Facebook tuning in. Shout out to you, Gmo. And for all your podcast needs, if you're looking to start a podcast, whether online or in person, you can reach out to me at Corey Giovanni, the main man with the game plan. Inside this episode or in our other episodes, you will be able to get you a free download ebook that I created, that I wrote. It's called How to start a podcast. It gives you not only tips and tricks, it also gives you some coupons for an event space in there, and also has an Amazon list where you can be able to buy some of the things that you need from my Amazon storefront. Yes, anything you need regarding podcasts, reach out to me. You can DM me on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, at Corey Giovanni, and it's the main man with the game plan. And with that being said, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend because we're giving you news
You can use.
Hey, and I'm out like John Gotti with a bigger body. Peace.
All right.